Welcome back to the Sanctuary of Stardom, and welcome back to Turkish series stars. We are the guardians of nuance, the keepers of sentiment, and your home for the stories that pulse behind the glossy facade of the Turkish celebrity universe. If you've grown weary of surface-level chatter and crave narratives that honor the heart as much as the headline, you're in the right place. Before we pull back the curtain on today's deeply human saga, take a moment to subscribe and tap that notification bell so you never miss a beat. And for those who want to travel even closer with us and help secure the future of this channel, the join button is your doorway to becoming a patron of our community. Your support fuels our commitment to go where others won't, to look beyond numbers and into meaning. Today's story dares to challenge the rules of the fame machine. It is about what happens when ambition meets devotion, and one of Turkey's most watched leading men makes a choice that the industry almost never forgives. In a landscape defined by tightly edited statements and immaculate PR silence, where every syllable is weighed against ratings, actor reputations, and the untouchable calculus of popularity, unfiltered honesty is a combustible force. This week, it exploded. The tremor came from Navruz, who stepped out of the carefully lit frame and spoke from a place no algorithm can predict, his heart. For weeks, whispers had been building into a storm. Comment threads, gossip accounts, and after-hours chatter all circling the same subject: what was really happening between Alp and Alina? Claims of a split. Rumors that money was becoming a flashpoint. Suggestions that family opinions were creeping into private decisions. With each new thread, the fabric of their connection was being tugged in public. Then Alp did what almost no one expected. He didn't deflect. He didn't pivot. He didn't ask for privacy. He made a declaration that ricocheted across feeds and left skeptics momentarily without breath. He essentially said, "Keep the accolades and the shine if it means keeping the woman I love. If the price of my career is losing Alina, then take the career, I won't lose her." It wasn't a line out of a script. It was a boundary carved into the ground. In that moment, he flipped the hierarchy that governs celebrity life. The job doesn't own the man decides what matters. And according to what's come through the cracks of friendly circles and set-side murmurs, Alp's words weren't theater. They were backed by choices. We're in a prosperous run for him. Scripts arriving in stacks, streaming giants circling, schedules that could have cemented another peak year. Yet insiders insist he has started turning down high-profile opportunities. What's the reason being floated by those who know? Time. Time to live a life that doesn't exist only between call sheets. Time to be present with Alina, not just in snapshots but in the quiet, undistracted minutes that build trust. It's set the industry ablaze with debate. Can a star really pick love over momentum without paying for it later? Alongside that thunderclap, Alp gave us the philosophy that underpins his stance. He articulated something simple, almost unfashionable in a culture obsessed with milestones and metrics. Trophies tarnish, follower counts fluctuate, and ratings ebb. What lasts, he suggested, is standing next to someone you trust when the lights are off and the noise goes home. From him, it sounded less like a quote and more like a recalibration of values. One that fans shared and reshared as if they'd finally stumbled upon a definition of romance that didn't need a filter. The question it leaves for our Turkish series stars community is not small. Are we watching a reckless gamble with his future, or the only sane choice in a world that devours its own? Would you stake your trajectory on the person you love? Tell us. If this story pulls at something in you, show it a little love with a like. And if you believe in deep dives like this, hitting join helps us keep bringing them to you. On the other side of this fiercely public confession stands Alina. Her response, at least outwardly, has been an exercise in grace. She didn't rush to the nearest reporter with a soundbite or drop a statement engineered for headlines. She let the silence breathe. But silence is not a vacuum, it can be heavy with feeling. Those close to her say the words struck deep. In private, the phrase that keeps surfacing is small but telling. It meant more than she could say in a caption. Without a press conference or a carefully lit selfie, her answer came through presence. We've seen them stepping out more, not in a performative show of unity, but with a calm rhythm, arriving together, leaving together, existing together. The images that trickled onto social feeds, the subtle synchronicity of their posts, the unforced warmth in an arm across shoulders. All of it formed a soft shield against the noise. What makes Alp's move even more compelling is that it wasn't a spontaneous eruption. People who circulate in their orbit say it was a decision built over many conversations, a frustration turned into clarity. He sat with friends whose opinions he actually trusts, the kind who know the difference between a headline and a heartbeat. The advice wasn't complicated: say it, don't hide. Let people know what is true for you. Somewhere in those late-night talks, he put into words something he had been living: Alina is not a chapter in his story, she is the compass that changed his direction. He reportedly told confidants that meeting her redefined the shape of his days, that she wasn't just a romantic partner but the person who taught him what home feels like. Predictably, the chorus of cynics followed. Some corners of the internet ran with a theory that this was genius image management. Use a grand gesture to soak up sympathy, push back against negative narratives, and come out more adored than before. But the people closest to this couple push back hard. They insist there was no PR rollout, no mood board for tears, no staged spontaneity. And the detail that keeps resurfacing is powerful in its humility: Alina didn't see it coming. Friends say she admitted she hadn't expected him to go that far in public, and that even in her surprise, she felt something shift. Authenticity has a way of breaking through every practiced pose. So what comes next when you put a stake in the ground and call your shot like this? If the whispers lining the industry's hallways are right, the road ahead is being paved deliberately. We're hearing talk of shared time carved out with precision, not just whirlwind breaks, but planned escapes. Getaways where phones are off and plans stretch beyond the weekend. There's also chatter about creative crossovers, whether that means a tasteful collaboration or simply offering notes on each other's projects in a way that knits their professional and personal lives together. And the word serious keeps appearing when people discuss the months ahead. Serious steps. Serious conversations. Serious intent that hovers around a single, luminous idea. This isn't a fling playing at longevity, it's architecture. Fans are reading the tea leaves in the most ordinary of moments, as they always do. A quick video from a coffee stop. A shared playlist link with a lyric that suddenly means everything. A walk that would look like nothing if it were anyone else, but here becomes a statement delivered without a press release. In a culture that often glorifies dramatic endings and scorched earth separations, their steadiness feels almost rebellious. It is quietly daring to look at the circus and choose something as simple as two people trying to be kind to each other. None of this means Alp is abandoning his craft. It means he's drawing lines so that the work doesn't swallow the person doing it. He's betting that the audience can tell the difference between someone who shows up exhausted and someone who shows up anchored. It's a risky wager, and he knows it. The business remembers who says yes and who says wait. But sometimes the story that keeps you rising isn't the one delivered by a ratings chart, it's the one you tell yourself when the makeup is off and the room is quiet: I chose the person I love, and I didn't let the machine choose for me. So we turn the question back to you, the heart of Turkish series stars. What do you think this choice will do to Alp's career? Will it make him more relatable, more human, more magnetic to audiences who want to believe their heroes actually live by the values they post? Or will there be backlash from the gatekeepers who prefer compliance over conviction? And what about Alina? Does the strength she showed by staying still in the whirlwind become the model for how to survive fame with your soul intact? Tell us your truth in the comments. If this chapter moved you even a little, hit that like button. And if you want more explorations like this, remember that join keeps our lights on and our stories deep. We will be watching closely as the coming year unfolds. The schedule. The trips. The collaborations that might draw them into each other's creative worlds in new ways. The conversations that may lead to a ring or simply to a home that neither needs to explain to anyone but themselves. Whatever shape it takes, this is a gamble very few people in his position would dare to make. Alp has staked his present momentum on something that tends to be invisible to everyone but the two who hold it. And in doing so, he's given the rest of us a rare window into a choice so many wish they could make, to say, with actions instead of headlines, that the career is precious but love is the point. Let us know where you think this story is headed. Will the industry punish bravery, or reward it for the humanity it reveals? Thank you for spending your time with us here at Turkish Series Stars. If this resonated, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And remember, sometimes the bravest role an actor can play is the one where he puts down the mask and tells the truth of his own life. Until next time, take care, and keep your eyes on the moments that matter.